Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Quant's price chart. And if you remember in the previous video, I think we were somewhere around these areas, and the idea was that most likely this move is a correction structure, and after it's over we are going to see some more upward price action in QNT, and I still stand by what I said. Now the question is, can we say we have already hit the low of our correction? The answer is maybe yes, and here is how I can argue that. If you want to say that the low is in, you need to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure up. And here's a surprise, I am actually able to find a 5 wave. Let's go on 5-minute chart, zoom out a bit more. Okay, so here's the thing. You can argue maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is correction down and yet another 5 wave on the upside, and instead on a higher degree we may have like an ABC zigzag. However, that's not going to be my primary case. No, I'm going to argue in my primary case, starting from this point, we have a correction structure probably in form of an ABC running flat. And why do I like this? Because into our C leg, if you just pay attention a bit more, as you can see, we are absolutely able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. So that's why I want to tell you, in Quant, maybe this is actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the low of our correction is in. Is it enough for us to be optimistic? The answer is no. Why is that? Question: what happens after an impulse up if we are bullish? The answer is we're gonna have a correction structure on the downside, and so far I think you can say this is A, this is B, this is C. And what I want to see is this: a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to at least take this important high, about $97. Why? Because that does suggest at that point we are having impulse up, correction down, and maybe the low is already in. What you do not want to see is a consolidation pattern and yet another move on the downside, because at that point I think we can safely assume this is a 1, correction for 2, another move down into wave 3, correction for 4, and yet another move down into wave 5, indicating maybe this correction hasn't come to an end yet. Now let's go on a less busy chart, because in today's update I want to check out the possibility of having a very strong extension structure in QNT. And here is how I got the idea. I was actually checking this chart without waves, and I was noticing that these moves on the upside in terms of size are actually pretty equal. Let's just measure them one by one, and first things first, you need to put your chart on regular scale, okay? There is no measuring waves on logarithmic. This is very important to understand. So let's start by this initial move and compare it to the other waves. As you can see, this move is pretty equal to this one. What about this one? As you can see, they are also pretty similar. What about this one? Okay, this last move up is a bit bigger. However, if you want to argue our move up, our impulse actually ended right in here or here, well, okay, the conclusion once more is the same. All of these moves on the upside seems to be relatively equal in terms of size. And that brings me to the extension scenario. You see, according to my primary case, we are having maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave in here into a larger degree wave 3, and then correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. But what if I am wrong, and in QNT we are much more bullish, meaning this can be starting from here, a wave 1, correction for 2, and then we are going to get a very strong move into wave 3, 4, 5, and on a higher degree this might be into a larger degree wave 3, a correction for 4, another move into wave 5, and even that one is going to be into a wave 3 and 4 and 5, and even that one, you know the deal, it's going to be into a larger degree wave 3, correction for 4, another move into wave 5. Now pay attention, this is important. If something like this is happening, I think this might actually very well be our blow off top phase, which in it I'm expecting Quant to set an all-time high and take the highest high somewhere around $450. But we talked about this so many times, I do not believe that's going to be our ultimate target. No, I think a $1,000 QNT is not really that much of a weird target, and in terms of market cap also it makes perfect sense. Let's go on CoinMarketCap and see where is QNT at the moment. I swear we were right in here. There we go. With the price of 92.5 bucks, we stand at rank 72 with the market cap of about $1 billion. Now, let's say we're going to go to $1,000 in QNT. That means you're having about an 11x move on the upside, and that will give you the market cap of about, let's say, like a 12 to 13 billion dollars. Now, a 12 to 13 billion dollar market cap will probably get you somewhere within the top 20, which is, in my opinion, for a fantastic project like Quant, absolutely possible. And I know if you want to consider some higher targets, you can do that. For example, I see in YouTube a lot of people are talking about like a $5,000 QNT, and at that point our market cap is going to be somewhere around $60 billion, which will definitely get you to top 10. And sure, that can happen, but based on my experience, I shouldn't be that optimistic. I think a $1,000 QNT makes perfect sense. If we get to 5,000, that is going to be fantastic, but I shouldn't really count on it. Anyway, let's go back to our chart and see what is going on. And the main question is this: at what point can we say maybe we are having in here some sort of an extension scenario? Now let's go back on our own chart. This one. Okay, so we talked about this level so many times. This is an important area of supply between 101.5 to about $110. And I want to see a move up in Quant and followed by that a consolidation pattern and yet another move on the upside. And this part of the price action specifically for me is so important, and it's going to open some doors to extension scenarios. Why? Because let's say we get another move up. At that point, well, okay, I'm just able to argue maybe this is 1, this is 2, another move into wave 3 correction for 4, another move into wave 5, and what's next? Probably a deep correction structure down, maybe in order for us to reach to about these areas, about $70-80. On the other hand, if we get this move, after it, we do a consolidation, another move up, there is pretty much no shot for me to be able to find a complete impulse swoop at this point, and it means I have to, this is kind of important, I have to consider having an extension scenario in QNT. And if we are that lucky and the scenario that I talked to you about is in play, well, okay, that's gonna suggest we are going to go up in Quant at quite a bit of a rapid pace, and you're just constantly going to see higher highs and higher lows. Now, this scenario again once more suggests we are going to have an altcoin season within the next month or two. Is this possible? The answer is yes, because anything is possible. Is that my base case? I do like to be, for now at least, a bit careful and wait for some more bullish signs. For now, sure, we can be absolutely on the right track, but in order for me to talk about this scenario with more confidence, I do need to see some price action develop in overall the whole altcoin market and not just QNT. I do not believe that we are going to get in a situation where Quant only is going to go up and all the other altcoins are not going to do anything. That, in my opinion, is extremely unlikely to happen. The only way that we can see something like this is if we get a fantastic altcoin season. So let's have a quick conclusion and wrap up today's video. In QNT, starting from the lowest low down here about $55, we can consider different possibilities. One scenario suggests we are only in the short term going to get another move up, and then it's going to be time to have a correction down. The other ones suggest maybe we are having in here an extension scenario, suggesting the next 2 months are going to be very exciting. Which scenario is in play? At the moment, I really cannot tell you anything for sure. And yeah, I think we are on track for a beautiful extension, but based on my experience, I do not believe that we should be right now 100% optimistic and say that absolutely is going to happen. I think we need to take everything step by step, and the first important sign that could potentially tip the scales towards the extension scenario is if we get a move up, do a consolidation, and then another move in order to take this high. If we do this, at that point, I'm probably going to be much more bullish than already am in QNT. But for now, let's just hope that we get this move up, and then we are going to make many new updates and see what is going on and where are we going to go from there. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Quant's price chart. Anyway, If you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.